Welcome back to the Ticketmaster Studios. I'm Dave Archer. This is our series where we take a look at some of the players we feel like could be relevant for the Falcons in the draft. And before you get started on me, I'm going to mention wide receivers. And I know I hear you right now. You're saying, no, not wide receivers. Atlanta's picked up some wide receivers in free agency. Obviously, Drake London. We've got some really good players here. But I'm a quarterback. I got to talk wide receivers just for a second. Just allow me a little bit. These guys are outstanding players. Let's take a look. Marvin Harrison Jr., 6'4", 205-pounder out of Ohio State. Over the last 2 seasons, 144 receptions for over 2,400, almost 2,500 yards, 28 touchdowns. Highly productive. He's a sudden athlete with outstanding body control. As you take a look at this guy, in routes, and also when things begin to break down, his ability to go and mirror the quarterback. More the quarterback gets out of the pocket, he's going to present himself to the quarterback. He's got tremendous ball skills in tracking the ball, also in 50-50 balls. Here he is in a scramble, gets out over and makes the catch against Georgia. Everybody remembers that game. Nobody wants to remember that game. Or I guess you do, because Georgia ended up winning the game. But here's his ability to find the football. Now look, here's the little run after the catch from Marvin Harrison. Top end speed, maybe some questions about that. It had a few drops this last season, but his ability to stay alive for his quarterback, understands. Remember, this coming from great genes, right? His dad, a great football player as well. So he comes by it honestly. Great player, Marvin Harrison. All right, Malik Nabers, 6 feet, 200-pounder out of LSU. And boy, did LSU have a monster year offensively this last year. Jaden Daniels jumped off the scene. We get Brian Thomas as a guy we'll talk about. But last 2 seasons for Malik Nabers, 161 receptions, over 2,500 yards, 17 TDs. I love the explosion of this guy coming off the ball. Here you see him read the coverage, settles in the zone, makes the play, but he pushes defenders off, not only with his speed, but with his size. He has good playability. He's a problem getting deep as well as short, meaning the versatility is there. Big, outstanding catch right there in the left flat, or the right flat there. Outstanding play. Uses his hands well to fight off defenders and squeezes those contested balls. And how many times do we see guys that make catches in traffic? He's a great 50-50 guy. We know about that. We've got one of the best 50-50 guys in the game in Drake London right here. Occasionally, a little lazy in the route integrity, lacks some consistency there, but you can see a little run after the catch for Malik Nabers at LSU. Odunze played in the national championship game for Washington, 6'3", 212 pounds, ran 4.45 in the 40, 39-inch vert, and you see it come to life when you watch the tape. The last 2 years, 167 receptions for just under 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. This guy has elite ball skills. Here's a 50-50 play, finds a way to track the football. He's got an uncanny ability to adjust to the ball when the ball's in the air. How many times have we watched Washington this year? Ball thrown down the field by Michael Penix Jr. and Odunze made a play on the ball. Well, you got to cover him, or this could be pretty easy for him right here. But strong hands, unique ability to make the big play. That's the thing that stuck out about this guy, is he makes the play when it's there. Now, does he lack a little bit of top end speed? Maybe. A little bit below. He's a below average blocker in the run game. Those are things he could work on and become better. But this is certainly a guy that is going to come off the board early, because he's going to make some plays in the National Football League. Now, I mentioned there's a lot of receivers, and I know you're wondering, why are you talking receivers? And I'm not necessarily talking about Atlanta at 8 with a receiver. I'm talking about the myriad of receivers that are going to be potentially available a little bit later on. Brian Thomas out of LSU. A.D. Mitchell, you know A.D. Mitchell, played at Georgia, went to Texas. Outstanding player. Ladd McConkey, Georgia player, really has burst on the street and ran a 4.39 at the combine. Ricky Pearsall, outstanding receiver out of Florida. Xavier Leggett, another outstanding player. Roman Wilson off of Michigan, that national championship team. Tony Franklin out of Oregon, and Xavier Worthy blew the doors off of the dome up there in Indianapolis at the combine, ran a 4.2 140, the receiver out of Texas. Deep group. Don't think that Atlanta, just because I talk about receivers, I know you're saying, hey, we don't need another receiver. Yeah, you do. You always need guys that go get the football. But there's guys available a little bit later on that Atlanta could grab, especially when it comes to maybe that second, third round. Keep your eye on the receiver now. Could be a difference maker for Atlanta.